Hey guys, Don Cottom with Cloudroom AV or CRAV and 323 Link. And today I'm going to talk about some new concepts that most people in the audiovisual business have not really probably contemplated, which is the migration from the rack full of equipment to a Windows PC running everything. And I'm talking about switching, I'm talking about audio systems, I'm talking about converting every tier of what's in that rack into a software stack that we will put on a computer, and then we will have a multitude of inputs and outputs, we already do, to bring every device you can even think about into a computer ecosystem. Another big thing we're doing here is obviously we can take advantage of everything in Windows. So a lot of people think that's some kind of disadvantage. Most people are wrong. If I could just remind everybody, we run our enterprise networks and most of our infrastructure on Windows and Linux-based structures. But I will say that the majority of the devices that people touch in those business environments are Windows computers. And guess what? Most people out there already know how to operate a Windows computer. So we're bringing people back to a base level that is a ground level neutral zero. People kind of know Windows, and we think it's the best platform to run AV systems in the future. I'm going to explain a little bit more of that, but I'm going to talk about our app mode today. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how this actually becomes a huge advantage as you scale, especially on a computer campus or, a large school with a large computer network, a campus, or medical facilities, or large corporate environments where we can convert all these computers into something else. So let's first talk about a little bit about the app modes. And so with app modes, the app mode for OneTouch is now designed to work in a single display, dual display, or triple display room, and that's at the front wall. This is designed to go with touch screens, but you can use non-touch screens, and it turns each of those monitors into a flip board. And when I say that, I mean each display may have 2, 3, 4 apps assigned to it, and the users just know that that's the display that you want to go to use those apps. So a dual monitor room, you might have one side with Air Server, your document camera, and let's say it's an HDMI connection. The other side, you would have Zoom, Teams, maybe you've got Jitsi and Google Meet, but you've got your main video apps, and the user just rotates to the app they want. And so we can rotate through this through buttons that are on those screens. We can also turn all 3 screens into one huge canvas for any given app. We can also duplicate any window onto any other window. We have created a full matrix switching mechanism inside Windows. That includes audio sources and video sources. I can tell you this is the future of AV systems. And soon, internal AI technician, a private AI, will be able to manage this room and space and help all the users operate the room. The rooms are already easy enough where you don't even need an assistant. And I'm going to show you the ways you can control how you flip the board or go to a full extended or duplicate. I'm going to give you a brief idea of that. We've got several ways to control it. You can control it from the OneTouch interface itself. We also can use all of the different decks that you've heard of. The one we use the most commonly is Stream Deck, which also means the OneTouch ecosystem has all of those thousands of plugins for Stream Deck are full functional operational things you can put in your rooms. We also have small decks you can put right next to the display if you decide to do non-touch screens. So you can have your 3 or 4 buttons for your apps. They hit the app they want on that screen, it comes up and they use it. And now you can actually talk to the machine or talk to the system and have it move things around for you as well. But you have the Stream Deck, you have the OneTouch interface, you have the buttons on the actual touch screen, our floating dock, which is another set of buttons. So you've got multiple ways to control that. And so basically what we're doing in these environments is that one computer that's connected in that building. Let's say we have the business building, we have 200 AV systems in that building, may have a lot of computers in that building as well. Well, we have a new small agent that runs on our OneTouch system, which can turn any node into a worker. And this comes from a clustered computing. I did this stuff 20 years ago almost at Oak Ridge, where we worked on some projects like this. And I can tell you, this is the future of a lot of the clustered supercomputing on campuses. So what we do is each one of our machines, let's say you go to the OneTouch Pro. Well, you may have a 5070 graphics card, which by the way is powerful enough to run a private AI like a 4 billion parameter AI to assist in the room, on top of do all of its graphics functions. But as you can imagine, I put the worker node on each One Touch, and then each One Touch with its very powerful CPU and very powerful GPU, which could have up to 30,000 processors. Plus, a lot of the new machines also have processors specialized to tokenize things, or AI. And so what we do with those 200 rooms is those rooms are all turned into worker nodes, and those become a virtual supercomputer in each of those buildings. They all communicate back to our big user-centric. We have AI private server U drives for campuses now that allows the teachers to put the files and documentation information they want for their classes in their U drive, and then their private AI can work with them to use those resources to do all types of things from make test to even grading. So we have this new server that it links back to, but all the nodes or buildings become workers for the main AI server, and it can dish out its needs to the different buildings or different facilities, or if you're a large corporate account, to different physical city locations. And this not only can harness the power of the AV systems, which sit idle probably 15 to 16 hours a day, but it also can take advantage of your other computers, because we can use the One Touch desktop node or agent that helps with your video conferencing, but also turns your computer into a worker in its idle time. So that is the concept of our group workers, our U-Drive AI server or U-Server-X, but it also gives you the general concept of some of the more power. We can turn these assets that aren't used all the time into effectively a large supercomputer for a campus for a fraction of the cost of what it would normally take. And so we distribute that work across the entire network for research, grant writing, student orientation. There's a lot of things this will do. It can handle paperwork. There's a lot of things it can do, as you all know from looking into AI briefly now for most people. And then the last thing I'll say is these networks are self-healing. And so all the devices are self-healing, as far as there's that same agent worker that's on the devices has the ability to fix the units. So these are some crazy out there concepts for the AV networks, but this will be mostly hitting education and the courts first. And then you're going to see this start to trickle into corporate accounts. You know, right now, those AI servers, you can run an entire U-Drive system on a campus. They range from about $50,000 to about $250,000, depending on how large a campus you have. And I won't get into the depth of that. There's a whole nother set of videos that'll be coming out about our U-Drive X and U-Server-X. So we'll look forward to sharing that stuff with you. And if you need more information, go check out the CRAV website at cloudroomav.com. And we look forward to speaking to you. Thanks.